welcome back to the bench. Today we've got another floppy drive to tear down and have a look at and service. This is a generic drive. It's branded Watford Electronics. For those of you who are familiar with BBC Micros, you will recognise the name instantly. This one's in a bit of a state. A few of the screws are missing, two of the feet are missing, and the ones that are left are kind of degrading a bit. So yeah, it's seen better days. The floppy drive cable is being held together, or at least the connector, with sellotape, which is old and crusty, and yeah, presumably one of the clips is broken off on the end. That's why somebody's decided to tape it up, and it's had the plug cut off, and it has spare wires. So obviously it'll need a new plug to get it working, but before that, what I want to do is just have a look inside, re-grease it, clean the heads, the usual stuff. So we will take out the two screws holding it together, because there are no others. Even the screws are different, they're not the same. Okay, this will just slide off, I guess. Yeah. Okay, put that there, and let's have a look. Okay, so the mains cable is coming in and it's going straight to a Molex connector. Surely there is some kind of power supply there? No? You're kidding me. Well, that's certainly not mains rated. Let's take the floppy drive cable off. Pull those off. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. There is definitely no power supply on there, which means, yeah, on the Molex +5 ground, and presumably the other one's going to be 12 volts. So we have a mains wire coming in, because yeah, it's brown, blue and green and yellow, but it's just going straight to the PCB, which means that if I had just put a plug onto this and connected up to the mains to test it, because that definitely is a mains cable, it would have gone bang in a spectacular way. And would probably have fried my ass at the same time. Okay, so let's take this apart and see if somebody did make that mistake and whether it has had its arse blown out of it. That's PCB. Okay, so some kind of Captain tape over that. So yeah, ground, 5 volt plus 12 volt. And I don't see any kind of charring or anything on any of the nearby components, so it looks like nobody's plugged this in, to the mains at least. Okay, let's have a look at the heads. Oh, that is really stiff. That is not like those other drives, the Chinon drives in the Cumana case. This is really, really stiff. Okay, you can see the rails there. You see the heads. So let's just get a cotton swab. See if we can clean the heads. Just about get in there. Yeah, there's a tiny amount of dirt on there. Not too much. This drive is as stiff as anything. So push the head forward. So we can clean some of that old grease off. That's more than likely what's causing it to be stiff. Yeah, it's pretty dirty. Right, we'll see if we can get some new grease on there and see if that improves things. Move it forward first of all. Okay. It's still feels very stiff. Okay, so I wonder if we can get some power to this, and it's probably some kind of disable switch as opposed to a power switch. Okay. So brown is 12, the earth is ground, and blue is 5 volts. Okay, so I've set up the master, and I've got some discs here. This one's an 80 track disc, and I'm going to presume because it's got 2 heads, this is a 80 track drive. Let's see if it all will work. It's spinning up, and it says there's nothing on the disc, which may be the case. Oh, it's not going to be wise. It's got 2. Okay, maybe there is nothing on that disc. Let's try another one. Okay, so there is something on there. Animal, disease, microbe, welfare, biochem. Really? Okay, some strange shit. Anything on the second side? No. Disk fault. So let's try star 82. Yes. And see if it'll format side 2 of the disk. Looks like the head's sticking. I hear it clicking, but it's not moving. I think it's trying to move forward, but it can't. Unless it's moving extremely slow. No, that does not sound good at all. I think the head seized. Stopping the mechanism from moving freely. Doesn't look to have done any damage to the surface of the disc, but something is not right. Okay, let's switch that off. Okay, so next step then will be to take out the PCB and see if there's anything that can be done to slacken that off. And apart from it being stiff, it seems to be working fine. Which means that nobody put a plug on there and fried his ass. So this is obviously then powered by the BBC's auxiliary power connector, which is on the underside of the machine. Okay, we need to take these connectors out, and they've got up. Pretty easy. Oh, there's a head there, and something dropped. So, looks like the get something in there. Okay, it's coming. So the drive heads. Okay. So there is a screw here. I wonder if that's going to be some kind of tension screw. We can give it a little turn and see if that makes it move any smoother. Oh, that was Loctited by the looks of it. No, it's not moving any freer. And that's slacking right off now, so I mean, it could also be that the motor is the one that's stiff. Let's see if we can just unscrew this. Hopefully it won't go pinging off anywhere. Never tried taking one of these off before. No, it's definitely the drive head that's... Oh no, it's not. The actual drive head itself is pretty free. It's moving nicely. So it's the motor that's the issue. Okay. Okay, so this screw is just to hobble on the other motor, part of the connector to the motor. Okay, so yeah, it's the motor that's really stiff. The actual mechanism itself is pretty smooth, so I would say probably the motor shot in this. Okay, that's what fell out earlier. So looks like we can remove the entire motor assembly. Maybe it's something that can be re-greased. I did a good job on videoing this, so I know how to put it all back together again. Yeah, but that's really stiff. I think it should turn easier than that. No, it's too small. Okay, and here is our entire motor assembly. That feels to be moving quite freely now. Maybe it was binding on the side of the casing here. As we've got it out, we might as well pop the cover off. Oh, can we pop the cover off? Because this is going to be in the way, isn't it? Maybe we can lift it up enough, just a smidge, to maybe put a bit of grease in there. That's too big. No. It's going to chew those up. Yeah. Oh, no, they're rock solid. They're not coming off anytime soon. But that really does feel quite loose now. So I'm wondering whether it was binding on the case. I wonder if I can just get a smidge of grease down there somehow. If we got here, maybe if I cut the end off one of these Q-tips. Will it go down? No, not quite. It's too thick to get in there. I guess some onto the shaft. Maybe when it's turning it'll help pull a bit of it down. Yeah, that feels a lot freer now. Okay, let's see if we can reassemble it and it should work. Looks like there's different motor mounts depending on maybe the type of motor. All set out there. You done there. Come on. You know you want to go in. That's got it. So that's about where it was before. Take a little bit. Already it feels much stiffer. So I'm wondering whether something's twisted, like the metal chassis or something. So when you screw the drive down, it binds. Doesn't feel too bad like that. Yeah, still relatively free compared to what it was before. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing back on. Okay, so it's on like that. I don't think that small screw had the washer on, did it? Be careful not to twist it. Okay. Went on like that. These are two different sizes of screws. I think the washer did come off here, because that wouldn't need a washer. Or does this go around it? Does it have to go through here? Okay, yeah, it has to go through it, doesn't it? Okay, so this has to go through here. Just notice that's got two little lugs to hold it on. No, you've got to be on the other side there. Bench. Okay, that's how that's supposed to work. Let's just put that washer back on here. If it did come off of there, who knows? I can watch the video later. That'll tell me. It's not as free as it could be. I really do think that motor is the problem. But getting this off and getting into the casing is probably going to be nigh on impossible. Maybe we would have to get a replacement motor from somewhere. Okay, where is the board? Here we go. Oh yeah, thread through the cable for the drive motor. Oh, probably going to come through here. Certainly, the model number is it's a JVC, and it's an MFD-5102MP. Okay, let's get that there. This was a little spacer for one of the screws. Okay. I do believe somebody's been in here before, because like this screw has a washer on, the next one doesn't. So I suspect somebody tried to repair this. Maybe that's why it doesn't have a plug on the end anymore. Somebody cut it off because they wanted to use it on something else. Through the driveway. Okay. Okay, we're in. That's that on. Switch the B on. And we have power. Okay, so disc. And now we're getting nothing. Disc fault. Let's just see if the drive goes back to home. Yeah. Yeah. You can hear that motor is just binding up there. It is not happy at all. We slacken these off, give it free movement, and see if that makes a difference. Oh. No. Oh, the head wouldn't read, would they? But yeah, we can see the motor's not even going home. So I would say that this motor is foobar. So if we want to get this working, we've got to get a new motor. I wonder what these chin-up drives use. Do they use the same motor? No. They use a similar motor, but it's not the same. So I don't know whether we can get this MSJ 200 M12, and this one's a 2. Even though this is branded JVC, SJE200M12, and this is a chin-on, and it's MSJE200M64, so I'm guessing they're made by the same company. Yeah, if you look at the casings as well, the screws, the indentations around the screws, they're exactly the same. So it might be that we can get a spare motor for that. Have a look on Fleabay, the usual suspects, AliExpress, whichever, and see if we can get that replacement drive. So until we can get the replacement part, then we will have to leave this one for now. So thank you for watching, and if you like this video, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, and if you want to get notified of future updates, then please ring my bell. And as always, thank you for watching.